We are live back in the podcast studio
once again.
So for those, for some reason, if you don't know me, I'm your mad scientist, Jim, joined by...
I am Dr. Mike.
We also have here in the studio, we've got Ryan, our film guy. We've got Athena, our photo girl. And we've got Ming, the man who's floating around here somewhere. So 5 years ago, I've never been so unprepared yet overprepared for podcasts before.
Well, let's see how it goes.
Let's see how this happens.
So 5 years ago. Switching chords here.
5 years ago, came up with an idea. Before that, I saw the movie Super Size Me. And I thought, this is a ridiculous idea. What would happen if we didn't try to kill ourselves? What would happen if instead, this is where the keto diet was starting to become, all in the fad. Mm-hmm. So what would happen if we went to a fast food restaurant and just had a keto-friendly meal? And we did that for an entire month. Surely nothing could go wrong. But then had to understand more of research, and everything could go wrong because we're going to get lambasted on, it's because you ate the salad. Oh, it's because you had...
you change your exercise. You're doing other things to be healthy. You're trying to avoid this.
So we had to keep one thing and one thing only on here. So we figured, let's go with the burger aspect of it. What the heck not? I mean, unless you just wanted to eat cheese the entire time.
That would be it. Actually, yes. Let's do that next time. I'll eat cheese the whole time.
That would be cheesy. A crap ton of cheese.
Poor stomach. But anyway.
So in order to really make this go to different levels, we had to actually make this like a research project. And which is what we actually just began yesterday. Well, there's been a lot of prep leading up to it.
The case study portion started yesterday.
Exactly. Yeah. And the funniest part yesterday was literally driving up to Burger King, to which, if anyone hasn't heard yet, we did this by a double-blind study where only Shantae and Athena knew what the burgers were. We got Burger King, McDonald's, we got Wendy's, and then I was just curious because nobody seems to have an opinion on end grass-fed beef. Everyone says it tastes different, so I threw that into the mix. We weren't going to use it, but it would kind of defeat the whole purpose.
Compare it, let's see, find out.
Exactly.
Yeah. And there was, 11 of us blind, I believe.
Yep.
And the main thing that came out was, almost unanimous outside of the end grass-fed. It was Burger King.
Right. It was pretty unanimous on that one. I was shocked. Yeah. It kind of shows you all those special sauces, the pickles, the condiments, and even the 10 grams of sugar in the bun, which was lacking at that point. Mm-hmm. You add all those things together and they taste good. You take those apart, and Burger King, I guess, by the group of 11 that we had, did have the best tasting burger.
Yeah, I mean, it was the first one in the blind test. Obviously, I didn't know what it was at the time, but I remember thinking that's better than I thought because I knew it was a fast food burger.
Fortunate for you.
Yes, thankfully.
So then we decided, hey, let's quantify everything and have fun with this. So we did a Fit 3D scan on you, one of the most accurate ways other than doing a full MRI, but even to get your metrics of health. Mm-hmm. It's developed by Mount Sinai Icahn School of Medicine, and 400 lasers can't be wrong, right?
Can't. Good double check for it. And it was cool because it gives you a lot of measurements, anything from the weight, the body fat, even like muscle imbalances, which I do think is going to happen as my body I think it's going to dehydrate a little bit, but just see how everything changes. Gain weight, lose weight, and where it's coming from.
Right. Before I go over your scan, your baseline scan here, when you said dehydrate, just so all of our viewers know that all you're going to be drinking is...
just water.
Just water. Good old tap H2O.
And it's going to be about the same amount I usually drink. Again, we're trying to change as little as possible other than I'm just eating carnivorous Burger King. But so it's still going to be around 1.5 gallons of water a day. Just what I naturally do. Same thing with the style of where I eat, because I typically intermittent fast, so I'm keeping that. I'm usually 1 or 2 big meals a day. So same thing. Most of the time it's gonna be lunch. It's gonna be 12 of the 20 burgers, and then dinner I'll just have a small one of 8.
So you're going to have a healthy lifestyle.
Yes, my lifestyle is not changing other than the food,
right?
Which is a big part of the lifestyle, but yeah, everything else is staying the same.
Huge, absolutely. But the whole world vilifies fast food as being, this is awful for you, this is negative for you, and it very well may be. We're going to find out along the way.
Yeah, it's how much, and it's another one of those keynote differences you already mentioned, touched on it, but in supersizing, the big difference is, I'm continuing the exercise and all the other healthy habits. So we'll see how much it changes the body.
All right.
That'd be cool.
So we have different metrics here. Body shape rating, that's a metric. You want an average of 50, the higher the better. And you're a stud, you're at 75. This is typically indicates cardiovascular disease risk indicators. I've seen, which is the lowest I've seen, a 3 on there.
We've seen a couple in the single digits.
Right. And once they start transitioning into healthy lifestyle, they jump up by a dozen or so.
Usually like a week or two. It's pretty quick.
And then they kind of get stuck for a while. But you're already at 75. The best I've seen, I think, was Victoria right before her competition.
Okay.
She was, I think, at like a 93, before her competition. So
I've seen a couple in the upper mid 80s. Pretty much, you mean a couple others that have been there longer.
Waist circumference, 34 inches. This talks about deep visceral fat, also another disease risk indicator. The waist hip ratio, you want to be as close to 1 as possible. You're at 0.84. So you're in the green zone.
Good to go.
Green is good. Trunk to leg volume ratio. You're average. You're 1.3 on that one.
I'll take it.
Is what it is. I mean, you're from Amish country, so you're funny looking. We got.
I'll put a dig that doesn't make sense. Sure. Listen for more of those guys. There'll be a crap ton of them.
Body fat percentage 13.95, very commendable. And hence you have abs.
They are there.
They're up in there, and your weight about 190.1. And that's kind of heavy for you.
It is.
I mean, where are you usually at?
Like the 182, 184. A lot of times again, you know this, but for everyone who doesn't, I'm usually constantly training for something. And between injuries and then the current state where the world is right now, there is nothing to train for. So, I mean, I'm still exercising regularly. I'm just not, crushing it, so to speak. So I'm a little on the heavier end.
So you're doing the general maintenance, which I never like to say, because if you're not training for something, you're going backwards, right?
Right. I'm not going to let that mentally get to me at all. But yeah, something like what's my maintenance thing. So it's the things I like to do for exercise. I also know is worthwhile.
Your fat mass, 26.5 pounds. Hey, you need fat, so we're just taking body fat percentage, multiplying it by the 190.1. Lean mass, 163.6 pounds of muscle tissue, skeletal tissue, and water in the body. Lean mass burns more energy than fat mass, so therefore increasing your lean mass can help continue to reduce fat mass. Metabolic rate, if you were going to, like I say, lay in bed every single day, do absolutely nothing, but binge on the Keto Size Me movie on Netflix, you need 1,824 calories per day to just sustain life.
To maintain weight and not drop, because bodily processes take a lot of energy.
Now, I'll stop on this part here because we need to know how much you need to eat. We just didn't take a random number like 20 burgers. Let's just do 20. Well, if you did 20 burgers and you only needed 1,200 calories and you're, sitting around all day, you're going to get pretty fat.
I would gain weight from that. And the big point is to not to. Let's see what happens if we maintain the calories, and it's really just judge what's the nutrients or lack thereof in this food. So
we also went and hooked you up on a Fitbit.
Yep.
Compared that to the Fit 3D and do the best type of average. And we averaged that over a month on what you actually need. And we got 20 burgers out of this, right? Pretty simple. And the fun part is I get to go to California in a week and a half and go see the CEO of Fit 3D here. And him and I are going to chat a little bit on his technology. So this will be a good time. Your balance, which has nothing to do with this, but it could have something to do with this because you do talk about imbalances.
Especially if injuries come up or anything like that.
So you're pretty unbalanced as it is.
Yes.
Both metaphorically and literally here.
There we go.
And then I guess I like to say, here's all your inches. And you know what? I'm going to put this up on our blog at the functionized.com/keto.html. And I'm sure you don't mind. We're going to put all your results as we're going along with this anyway. So if someone wants to buy you a nice suit, we have all your measurements. They can take it and gift it to you. And if they want to buy you a nice suit, not being selfish, but I also put my stats up there as well, I'm not going to say no. Just throwing that out there. We also did
the workout.
We did a workout for you. So I combined a little Functionized / NFL combine without actually having to catch the ball.
Yeah, it was an adorable little workout.
I'm sure you enjoyed it. So we were able to quantify everything with a horizontal press, a pull down, and a 90-degree squat where we kept you at 90 degrees. Hence the 90-degree squat. We also did a carol workout so we could ascertain the power measured in watts here and your octane score, which is 1 to 2% within limits of your VO2 max. So we can now detect the changes in your VO2 max through a 1 mile run, 40-meter dash, 60-meter dash, a vertical jump, and a broad jump. And I mean, the numbers are what they are. On Caro, you can produce 1,223 watts. You had an octane score of 35. Your 1 mile run, which was at the end of everything after you're done throwing up, and we do have the throwing up on camera, by the way.
Nice.
Was 7 minutes and 15 seconds. 7 minutes, 15 seconds, and 51/100th of a second.
We're going that detail.
I may have blinked, but that's the detail we had.
Bingo.
Your 40-meter dash, your best time was a 4.69. Very commendable.
3, so.
Uh-huh. Your 60-meter was 6.56. Also very commendable. And ladies, this guy is a physical specimen. I'm just saying. She's not watching. You had a vertical jump of 36 inches. I mean, you're not going to get your elbow caught up on the rim, but still nice. And a broad jump of 8 feet 11 inches, which is the hilarious part because you fell back on that one and you couldn't get anywhere remotely close.
My best one was the one that I fell directly on my butt and slid back probably about 8 inches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now
but the other two didn't come close. Like half a foot off.
We went out to out in middle nowhere, Pennsylvania. Valley Forge, Pennsylvania.
Oh, yes. The
to
brain
meet
scans.
with Dr. Sadar and Angelica, the aforementioned brain specialists in the entire world. We were so lucky we got to be able to meet with them.
That was a great experience and a fun little, we'll call it a game, but it's really a wonderful assessment tool.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you get an MTPI in the NFL, you go to see them.
Yep.
They are the creme de la creme of neurologists in the entire world. So very fortunate we were able to get in. We saw them. We will go back again, obviously, to retest, but doing a full brain map, seeing what's going on, seeing the blood flow in your brain, seeing everything necessary of what's between the ears. And
I'm really curious about the blood flow and the reflex speed, because that one, I think, that's one of the things I expect to change severely. Because just to give the quick insight of what it was, is that rapidly a pair of images would come up with probably about 2 seconds in between. So it'd be like flash, flash, wait, flash, flash. As long as there's two animals, I click a mouse button. I did this for 20 minutes straight. There was a good 5 or 6 times I felt my finger flick, but I stopped it without false doing. My guess is a lot of those I'm not going to stop it. It's going to fully come through. Projection, we'll see.
So after doing all of this, but wait, there's more.
Heart rate variability?
Heart rate variability with Shantae, seeing where you're at with that. The heart rate variability is, we're pretty much testing the autonomic nervous system. Not pretty much, we are testing your autonomic nervous system, seeing what state of stress you're in, fight or flight, versus just rest and digest, being relaxed. I mean, they are what they are. And the more variable, the more your heart rate varies, the better that you want to be. Having a very regular heartbeat, you do not want to be there. You are pretty much taxed, need to go on a vacation to Fiji or something. Again, is what it is. And we decided to take a piece of metal and shove it into your arm and just keep on drawing blood until you turned white.
That didn't take too long, but it was a lot of blood.
Absolutely. So we got a lot of different quantitative measurements on there.
Yeah, try to think of everything that we can. We'll compare it afterwards too, just to see what changes. I've got my own thoughts. We can talk about some of that now, or I'm going to be talking about through the nightly little vlogs that we're going to be posting everywhere. But I'm curious to see what's going to happen, and honestly, how right I end up being. I don't care if I am. I'm just curious.
Right, and we're again documenting everything. So every single night, Dr. Mike here is posting his nightly vlog.
Yep.
And maybe having your last burger, which you haven't been eating, by the way.
Yeah, they're there. I guess I can start jumping into it.
It's like a college drinking game. Drink, drink. I'm saying eat, eat.
Yeah, I mean, I usually have a larger lunch and a smaller dinner. I usually do 2 meals. So I'm going with, for the 12 burgers for lunch, 8 around dinner. If I have 1 or 2 later in the day or something as a snack, I'm not going to worry as long as it's in my normal intermittent period. But yeah, I did bring lunch.
So how were the burgers prepared today?
Well,
are you going with cold, microwaved, or tepid because it's like hot as balls outside?
So they were in the fridge. I put them out, and they got a little harder than I expected them to. Like, I'll be honest, there's some, we don't know what's in this burger exactly yet. You
Not until I reverse engineer it.
Right now we have to take restaurants for the word. But I'll tell you, when it came out of the fridge, there is a lot harder than all the other meat products that are in the fridge. It seemed a little different.
So there's a lot of fat, most likely.
Most likely. So I microwaved them earlier, so they're a little bit more pliable now. So they're probably lukewarm.
Delicious,
We'll find out.
lukewarm. Wow.
Lightly past room temperature. Burger patties only. You had a great idea last time about might as well make a burger sandwich, right?
Yeah, you take a burger patty, you put it in between two patties, and you got a sandwich.
I
If
got
you want
my
a double decker, there's another way to go with that as
I got
well.
my bread here. Should I do a single or a double to start?
I'm going to go with a double. It depends on how hungry you are.
I've got 12 to eat. It's my lunchtime. Feeding, Jim. We'll go for a double.
I would like to get a world-class chef on board very shortly so he can teach us how to prepare these properly.
Yeah, I mean, I probably messed up making the double burger.
I'm going with the definite for dessert, the pureed in the middle of it as well.
Yes.
It's almost like a chocolate pudding with a meat flavor.
Yep. Blend it up, throw it in the freezer for maybe a little bit, make it nice. I'm not going to say nice anything. We'll make a chipwich out of it with burgers.
Ooh, so you get little pieces that are hard, and we can put that in the puree, like chocolate chips.
This is going to take a lot of unnecessary thinking.
Well, we've got hopefully another 100-ish years of life, so we've got some time, as we say. Is it good?
I don't want to be rude and talk, Jim. Jeez.
Now you want to be polite.
When it's ironic or comical, yes.
So we could have called this movie also Carney Size Me, which would have led to a idea of
that's
more
of
of a
matte makeup and everything.
Right, and a big nose. But could have definitely went that way because this is all meat. I know there's a lot going on about eating an all carnivore diet.
Yeah.
Now, what was the documentary we did a whole podcast on? It was Game Changers, which was turning into an all vegan diet.
Mm-hmm.
James Cameron did a beautiful job on that and has his largest protein company in the Northeast that's being promoted through this movie. In this documentary that we're doing, nothing's really being promoted. I mean, this is just a single case study that we're having a lot of fun with. We have a lot of New Jersey scenes. I want to keep it very local here to the state, just because that's where the roots of this, that's where my roots are.
Yeah, build the pride. I'm rooting here, so it's okay.
Exactly.
I'm getting over it.
Every city that we travel to, obviously, we'll have a lot of the hills type back and forth, keeping up with the Kardashians, back and forth. You have, 30 seconds of actual real footage, and the rest is going to be footage of everything else around us.
Yep.
But Ryan and I had a beautiful Sunday, a couple Sundays ago.
Yeah, took a little drive together.
Started at the Stone Pony in Asbury, and we just hit the coast all the way up and stopped at a certain quick stop convenience store and had a little fun outside there. Literally just incorporating Jersey into it, which is, it's been a lot of fun. A lot of people also don't understand when it comes to keto.
Mm-hmm.
They think that they are having a keto diet or a keto lifestyle. And we just did an interview with IFBB Pro, finished 4th, 5th, and 6th at the Olympia. So he's the real deal, and CEO of I Prevail Supplements, Jason Arntz. And he literally said, and in total agreement with us, and this is all him independently saying, was people have no idea what the fudge they are talking about when it comes to a keto diet.
No, not at all. They say high fat, but really, and most people, again, this is generalization, but the biggest mistakes, I guess I'll see, the most common falsehoods of it is that there's no vegetation, which is what this is. It's just not keto, in my mind.
I mean, the cow ate grass, so there's one aspect we go with it.
Yeah, I mean, too much protein. A lot of times they do higher protein, not higher fat, which keto is literally meaning like your fat burn and ketosis.
Right, it is.
So that's usually
fat.
a thing in there. Or they're not sure about, I see a lot of times that people avoid vegetables. Here's why I'm bringing it up, because of all the carbs that are in fiber.
Right.
So that's a correction I have to make because we don't digest it. You want fiber.
Really, ketosis is having ketones present in the body.
Yeah.
And it's debated what is optimal between 3 millimoles all the way up to 6 millimoles, what's optimal. But if you are, as long as you have those ketones, you're in ketosis. Therefore, congratulations, good job. You did it. You're keto. When you are consuming vegetation, which a lot of people also say not to do, it's pure fiber. And if there's no glucose reading, oh, by the way, I got a glucose reader for you. So
Nice.
we're going to stick you in the finger or nose or wherever to draw up some blood.
Well, we'll just stick it and find out. I'm interested.
As long as you are not having a rise in glucose, your body is going to be looking for ketones.
Mm-hmm.
The other fun part about that is there is that what ends up happening is your body's going to naturally go into gluconeogenesis. So you're going to have these surges of glucose going on.
Your body makes what it needs in general. It's very good at that.
I know when I was in full ketosis, I had 5.5 millimoles going on there. I mean, I'm full ketosis. I got my blood drawn, and I had a resting or a fasting glucose of 120. You wouldn't think that's possible, but the timing of it must have been gluconeogenesis going on. My body was releasing the glucose stores that it actually had in it. And, a lot of people don't understand that does happen as well.
I mean, sugar, glucose does store in our liver and our muscles. It's going to be there.
Right.
So when we do certain things, drink caffeine or exercise, it comes out a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. So how are you feeling so far?
I'm almost done my first double burger.
What is your anticipated effects? What do you think is going to happen long term? Chew, it's okay. I feel like the bully in a frat house. Chew, damn it, chew. Drink.
Put it down.
Hold you up by your ankles.
Keto stands.
So what do you think is going to happen?
Long term, I hope I'm right on this one because I don't suspect too much. Like, again, I guess defining long term, I'm thinking 2 months after I'm done. I don't think there's going to be much going on.
Right.
So I'm going to go back to everything for the most part that I was doing. At least I plan to. So I don't think much long term. Short term, I've got a lot of thoughts and ideas, and there's some I'm more confident with than others.
So what are you confident in, and what are you not confident in, and why?
I'm confident in some of the blood work. I'm expecting to see a lot more vitamin and mineral deficiencies because I'm not sold that there's a lot in these burgers. I know that one's kind of like a duh, but that's I'm most confident about that one.
I mean, when it comes to burgers, there is a difference in beef between buying it by the multiple case for the day versus where you have end grass fed, where cattle are grazing, hopefully all their lives, not being fed GMO grains at the end. So the difference between grass-fed and end grass-fed, for those that don't know, grass-fed is literally the cow could have had some grass one day, and then you shove it in a barn and feed it GMO grain. Where end grass-fed or grass-finished is where it eats grass all the way to the finish of its life.
It's just like the idea of free range. It doesn't mean that they're actually out in the fields. It means they have access to it.
Right.
And that's very different.
If you want to go with the, A5 Wagyu beef and really just go there, it's getting to listen to classical music, getting massage while it's dying. I mean, all these things, it's a very nice life for it, and it's deliciousness in our mouth.
Yep.
You think we're going to offend some vegetarians here? I hope so.
Well, if so, if not, we can link the Game Changers podcast to this one. We're almost guaranteed to.
Absolutely.
The ones I'm not so very confident about is actually in the physical fitness part. I've got my theory. I'm thinking I'm actually, because I'm still exercising. We got to realize that as a factor. So assuming I'm still exercising, there should be some improvements in exercise in general. I'm expecting that there's going to be I'm going to have increased power and strength. So I'm thinking when we do the ARX, I'm expecting that to go up a little bit. The power, the fast speed, I'm thinking like sprints are going to go down. Endurance, the mile, especially at the end, I have no idea. But my guess is I'm going to increase strength, but lose some of the power and the explosiveness. We'll see.
I think that as well. At least when I went full keto for a few years. I mean, it took a couple weeks for me to stop being cranky. Took a couple weeks to realize that I've got endurance. I'm not just gassed and dying here. But after those couple weeks, it was like a slow burning furnace that just would not stop. I could go and go and go and go. And it was amazing. It was wonderful. But when it came to powerlifting, lifting up just that pure blunt force power, I felt weak. And not just, I mean, who cares how you feel? Dr. Pearl says you can't feel. And the research study I just proved to Athena yesterday, we're trying to have a discussion about if a tree falls in the forest and there's no one to hear it. She even looked up what is sound.
There we go.
For sound to be recognized, you actually have to have an ear to pick up those vibrations. So trying to go through all the different scenarios here, telling her what is feeling. You're going to feel Ming's neck and feel something. I'm going to feel Ming's neck. I may feel something else. she feels Ming's neck and feels something else.
It's all
So
subjective.
therefore, it is subjective. And are we really feeling something? So got to quantify it by how much weight can I pick up and put back down. Jim Hulk, you know. So
it's interesting you had the same thoughts and concepts. I didn't know that, but
my power went up when I started bringing the carbs from 30 a day up to 100 a day. And there was a noticeable difference.
it makes sense. I mean, glucose is meant for more quick energy, that fast speed.
Right.
So that was the theory I'm going on.
5:15 came up, which was my PR, not patting myself on the back, but I'm patting myself on the back. I earned it. I worked for it very hard.
Yeah.
Hit that, and was not able to get that if I was in a keto state. It took some type of fuel to be able to pick that up and get that little. So I get what you're saying here. When we're doing the explosive stuff, even with the jumps, the plyos, you may not be as good. You may be able to push it a little bit more in the mile.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, though, if we decided to do a endurance, that might not be a bad idea. I mean, I know we just started now. We'd have to do it afterward.
Let's talk this.
On Carol, we can quantify endurance. She keeps on raising up 10 watts every 10 seconds until you can't actually push any further, any longer.
That brings back PTSD of, having a brain fart on those tests. Oh, VO2 max.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We could keep on quantifying all day. I'm really looking forward to meeting people, traveling the world, literally, getting a lot of people in there. I mean, meeting with not only the CEO of Fit3D, who also developed the technology that people see with Major League Baseball, where you get the bat speed, the tracking of the balls and everything like that. So more than just a good suit. But meeting with Ron McKeefery, who was one of my mentors growing up, gave me my first position at USF with the football team. And he's gone around to a few teams now. He's at Fresno State. So I figure I'm in California, go to San Francisco, hit up Fresno on his way. And I promise I'll be really, really, really cranky on my birthday come Wednesday because my flight doesn't get back in until 12:30 on Tuesday. So it's pretty much a 36-hour cross-country, meet with some people and come back. If we can meet somebody else while I'm out there, all the better.
Not dying. I'm good.
Good. I'm not dying. Don't die yet.
At least make it through the 30 days. Otherwise, I lied about being able to do it. Jeez. Wouldn't want that to happen.
So just so everyone knows, it's not like Dr. Mike here is going to be increasing physical fitness.
Nope.
You're just going to be doing what you normally do.
It's the stuff I have been doing. And that's an interesting point because I'm trying to make sure I mentally keep that in mind. Like even this morning, I'm like trying to push a little bit more because I mean I was working through a little injury, so it's like want to push more. I actually pull myself back a little bit, which was a weird self-argument in my head. But no, the goal is try to keep it the same.
Well, in Super Size Me, Sperling Matlock was not, or Sperling Morgan, was not working out.
Right.
He was just gorging on food.
Yeah, and the health benefits of exercise is incredibly well documented. Like, I mean, it does a lot of things physiologically. Even
in that Sugar movie, the guy went from pretty much being a frat guy in college, drinking beer and eating pizza as the staple of the diet, met this girl, decided to start doing yoga, starts being more active, and lives a hippie lifestyle diet. You know, the kind of diet that you and I normally have. And I just joke when I say the hippie style. Hippie style literally just means eating what we're supposed to eat. Eating plants, eating end grass-fed, wild-caught fish and meats, and kind of combining that to the best of the ability. And the guy looked great until he decided, let's go on a health food diet of a crap ton of sugar. Because a lot of people don't understand that the healthy, so-called healthy ways, the healthy diets. There was a example of somebody that brought in a meal replacement to us just the other week. She works for a very popular MLM company and does very well with it. And on the surface, looks great. And on the surface, the BS that's fed to them by the nutritionist about the sugar content in there, which is like 12 grams there, and they're having a couple of those a day on top of whatever else they're eating. You know, all the women there can't seem to lose any weight, right? And they can't figure out why. Oh, but it's healthy sugar. Oh, the sugar is a cane sugar, so it's fibrous, and therefore doesn't spike your insulin.
I'm eating a bunch of fruit. It's okay.
Right. But the glucose is being present in the system for a long time, which means the insulin is spiked and it stays higher throughout the time, the glycemic load stays higher. And a lot of people don't realize you're dead on there with the smoothies and all the fruit. You know, one of those palm drinks, yes, there is a ton of antioxidants in pomegranate. But when you decide to take out all the fiber of it and you are literally drinking concentrated sugar, it tastes delicious. It has a very high ORAC rating. But at the same time, is it the best way? And nobody wants that as a treat, do they? They want a cookie. They want pie. They want cake. They want some ice cream. And people, don't tell me you don't. I know you do.
So, I mean, these smoothies, again, we've talked about this before, but again, I simply just Googled healthy breakfast smoothie. I looked at the first 4, and the average one had the same amount of sugar as a little more than sugar in an 8-ounce Dr. Pepper. 2 of them had more than it in a 16. So, I mean, these are soda worth of sugar. And like you said, people are like, oh, well, because most people don't realize what flavonoids or pigments are if they use those words. But I mean, again, with it doesn't justify it.
Right.
It is not equaled out. I mean, if you're going to eat fruit, I mean, I'm against juicing for a couple of things without pulling too much of that in. If you're going to eat fruit, just eat the whole fruit. The fiber makes a small difference. But again, notice I said a fruit, not a bowl of fruit.
Exactly. But it's like even with coffee and caffeine, if you do have coffee with more fiber, it's going to last in your body longer. You're not going to necessarily get that crash. I see on the wall over here the Death Wish coffee, and oh my goodness, 2 months of what?
Yeah, it was a new fun finding. Holy crap. The first time you came in the office with that.
I felt like a different person. You like that too, yeah? Yeah, and then I decided to go on a 5-mile run one day, and it was an hour afterward, and my heart was...
It was still in the chest, so that was a win.
Right. Positioning the camera girl. She's a pro. And we were joking in the car yesterday. Come on over. It's okay to be on camera. So if for some reason Athena somehow goes to Hollywood, figure when she's 30, everyone will look back and, oh, that's what she looks when she's 12. It'll be like an Olsen. Minus the rehab.
I was going to ask how you wanted to compare that. Okay.
Yeah, no, not that way. I don't have another example. If someone could give me a better example. Candace Cameron. We'll go there from Fuller House.
There you go.
Exactly. That's why I'm going to meet with the attorney tomorrow to make sure we don't get sued.
What did
Find
I just
every
say?
way
Crap.
that I'm about to get sued and stop it happening from right now.
They're going to have one hell of a job.
Yeah, probably.
So, yeah, I mean, Lisa, I'll go on. There's been people already that apparently didn't know about this. I mean, I think we've been somewhat aggressive on social media. We'll get more. But it's cool how many people I've already heard from it's been less than 24 hours, reaching out of curiosity and concern and asking what the heck and all these other small questions. So I just wanted to put that out there for ask questions, because I will be doing these nightly vlogs. And, if you're curious about it, you might as well ask. So I tell you what you want to hear.
We could go both ways, pun intended, on this one. And we could call out individuals that are vegetarian and carnivorous at the same time. Carnivorous on eating, let's say we're going to do perfect meat. We're going to do end grass-fed beef. That's all they're going to eat. That's it. Dr. Stephen Baker came out with a book on the carnivore diet.
Yes.
And individuals on that have been having amazing results. Is it a lifestyle? Meaning, is that going to go forever? Depends on the individual. According to Dr. Baker, 100%. That's him forever. And he's a orthopedic surgeon. Now, you've also got people, I'd be very concerned on the flip side, they're eating an all-vegetarian diet. Where they forget all the processed foods. Say they're actually going to be eating kale, mixed greens. You're going to be eating their tomatoes and their celery, and they're going to juice with only that. So there is no sugar in this at the same time. You're rolling your eyes. Why are you rolling your eyes here on this one? Because this is what Game Changers is telling us to do, right?
Yep. So I'll start off with, I do eat a lot of vegetables. I mean, not right now, but generally I do. But there's so much to go on this one with. There are a lot of studies that do show, sorry for angering people, but having a full vegan diet does increase risk for different diseases and different cancers.
And stroke in certain
huge one
ethnicities as well.
And then there's always, the worry about being malnourished, and everyone's like, oh, just eat seaweed for B12, or about iron deficiency because iron's in plants too, but it's not the same source. The heme that's in there is not the same. It doesn't break down the same. So, I mean, I am a full believer that best way to eat is mixing in both, but that's what we're doing on the flip side to find out.
Absolutely. And those that are getting their protein from plant-based sources, it's a imperfect protein.
Right.
They're not getting the full breakdown. So they're going to have to start supplementing, most likely with an essential amino acid drink.
And if you need a supplement, to me, that tells me that's not what our body was designed to have.
Concur.
I mean, granted, that's my take on it, but if you need to put stuff in your body that your lifestyle isn't providing, to me, that's not what we were meant to have.
A lot of people will supplement with a multi.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying, hey, let me just throw a bunch of stuff at me in case I'm not getting something. I get that. But at the same time, when we do the NutriVal test or the other nutrient test, and we can actually see you don't need a multivitamin from what I remember on there. One or two things. I do not need a multivitamin. I need glutathione and B5. So I took a B complex, get a glutathione push with my B complex once a month and supplement throughout. And that's it.
I needed vitamin D, which wasn't surprising.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the most of us to begin with. And then, yeah, I'm Amish white. Yeah, I mean, nutrient-wise, I was fine and good. Yeah, there's just a huge difference with, again, veganism or carnivorous, and we'll see what all they are inside. Because a lot of people, it's like, oh, I switched to just a vegetarian diet and I lost all this weight. I feel a lot better. As we talked a lot before, it's, okay, what we're eating prior.
Right.
If you were eating, pizza and cake every day, then yeah, you're going to feel a lot better. You're getting a lot of vitamins and minerals you weren't previously. It doesn't mean it's best for you. It just means it's better than what you had.
Right.
Congrats. Still doesn't mean it's best.
Most likely, people are going to deny it up and down. Mm-hmm. We hear it every day. No, I eat well. Okay, you're 100 pounds overweight. Tell me you eat well once more. Stop lying. Yeah. I eat only good foods. And when you start breaking down what people think to be good foods, it's not. It's mostly processed. Mm-hmm. It's a highly processed diet. Pasta's not good for me? No, it's not good for you.
Or even things that are advertised. Like, I mean, back then I loved Cliff Bars.
Oh my goodness. And you know what? If you are a mountain climber, if you are a marathoner who's not on a ketogenic lifestyle to get all those miles in, Cliff Bars are great.
They're one of the better ones. I mean, still processed.
But right, they're processed and they're also meant for human performance when you're actually in the midst of competition, not as snack bars.
Right.
I remember the Power Bars back in high school. I would be chowing down on
MedX ones, or
no, they're made by Power Bar.
Oh, Power.
Yep, made by Power Bar. I'd also get an Ultra Fuel. So I remember sitting before cross country races, not even barely 100 pounds, dripping wet, skin and bones, and I would consume these leading up to the race. So I was done eating them and drinking it before the race. After the race, I would finish whatever I didn't have in the drink, mm-hmm. the Ultra Fuel. A lot of people do that because they think it's good, or they remember doing that when they were in high school.
Or when they're competing. And if you're not competing, there are different things your body needs.
Right.
Like overeating is a very common one. People eat healthy.
That's really what it is.
So we've even found people that they say they eat a healthy diet and have a good lifestyle, and then they do until you realize they're eating 2 to 3 times the amount as they should.
Right.
They're having, like salmon. They're having their salads with it. They're having a little bit of fruit here and there, like once or twice a week. And then they're still 100 pounds over. So you realize that the steak they had was a 3-pound steak.
Right. Yeah, I do know an individual. He does eat spot on. But you're talking about the steak. He doesn't have a little 6 ounce. He has the cow. And that's the same way with all the meals. Overeating, it really reminds me of, everybody remembers, I guess this generation, Ryan probably doesn't know this one, or Athena, the South Park, where Cartman was bulking up, weight gain 4,000.
We reference South Park a lot.
And he thought he was bulking up, doing what you got to do, get huge. Mm-hmm. And, he was bulking up to fat ass, super fat ass. I got to put that in the that was a good episode. I'm just going to watch that tonight for no reason whatsoever. But a lot of these supplements come out there, and a lot of these fads and trends are not what the body needs. Unless the person is, like we said, looking to perform at some super level for some reason. Why are you going to take a weight gain 4,000? Maybe if you have sarcopenia, you've got some other wasting disease going on, you're at end stage cancer, that you're not getting your nutrients by, chewing. Are you chewing or just swallowing these things? Here's another idea. Twist into a straw or a fruit roll up, and you can drink your water through that and get a meat flavor going on. You liking that, right?
More ways to put meat in my mouth. Perfect.
Pun intended?
Yes.
Ha!
Phrasing is back. I don't care what anyone
Does your
says.
new girlfriend, does Danny know?
No phrasing?
Does she know phrasing?
I'm not sure. I'll make sure of it.
You should
If
make
not,
sure
she's
that.
gonna
Otherwise,
figure
she's going to be thinking a lot of things about you that aren't true. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's a Seinfeld reference.
The one before that was Archer. Since we're mentioning everything else, we do this regularly.
And there is
Great
no
shows.
lack of Archer. I can go back to season 1 and start that all over again.
Yeah, I can't believe it took you so long to introduce it to me.
If you're listening for the first time in Cairo school, I would watch it every single night. He would hear it, me cracking up for no reason. I kept on telling him about it. When I was introduced to it, I never went back to the house for a lunch break, ever. I would stay on campus. I would study. I would get a little exercise in, something like that. So I'm told by one of the roommates prior to you that you got to come back. We're going to go and have some water and watch Archer. I'm like, what's Archer? He's like, you just got to watch it. So a bunch of us go back and we start playing Archer. We were like 20 minutes late for class. Like, we really got to go back. We can resume later. We have to go back. The funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Yes, Ming's got up there. Thank you, Ming.
Yes.
And I know we're getting off topic here, but
We do that once or twice.
the voice of Archer, just not the same if it's not in Sterling Archer.
Right. Oh, geez. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's on the what's that commercial now?
For
the
Arby's?
subs? Yeah, Arby's.
Yep. And then and a bunch of other cartoons and stuff. Like, wait, that doesn't look like Archer.
No, no. Is what it is. So what
Yeah,
else?
Arby's. They have the meats. There we go.
What happens here if in 2 weeks from now you're a waste of space? I say that lovingly, meaning that your brain's not working, you're screwing up all the time with your paperwork. You just want to throw up, sleep all day. I mean,
So-
you feel sick.
The most common question we are getting before this even started is, how long am I going to continue doing this?
Right.
And I just keep staring at them and say, it's 30 days. There's one reason that it would stop is if I get medically pulled for it, which is in the powers of your hands on that one, just like it was when I did the other experiments with weight cutting and everything.
You're in my hands.
That was shit. So we'll see. My plan is to go the whole time. If something happens and I'm physically up here like I'm going down, if I don't look like I'm dying.
If you look like
then
you're
we'll try.
dying, yes, we'll pull the plug. If you don't look like you're dying, we'll see this out. If you look like you're dying, my thought was to go on an all-end grass-fed beef. Shantae is already committed. She said she will cook your calories worth for the remainder. Obviously we will do new lab work, new physical testing at that time to see where you're at, and then see the changes there.
Yes, if I'm physically not capable of pretty much living, then we'll still continue burgers. We'll just see what changes then when you go from the low quality or presumably low quality of fast food to the organic and grass fed. We'll see what changes and goes from there.
My theory is you would probably start to feel better because it is shown, proven time and time again that end grass-fed beef raised the proper way does have a higher level of omega-3 fatty acids. You're eating pure arachidonic acid right there.
Yeah. I mean,
You're
just like
pro-inflammatory central.
Yeah, that's another thing I'm pretty sure is going to go up is the inflammatory markers.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, just like humans, all animals are what they eat and absorb. So yeah, you feed a cow good stuff their whole life, it's going to have better than what's in more processed.
Absolutely. And I'll be putting your.
They're
You've already consented. We can start putting all your results up
Yeah,
there so
post
everyone
them.
can watch them as well. It's gonna be a crap ton of fun. It's already been a crap ton of fun. I got to say. I mean, I procrastinated so long, and I remember it's one of those days I'm walking around the lab, and I'm pissed off for no reason whatsoever, no reason at all whatsoever, and finally thought to myself, "Is this it? Is this the rest of my life, where I'm not pushing forward on all the ideas, thoughts, hopes, and dreams?" And obviously the goal is to have this up on Netflix. I will not say anything against Amazon, or if Facebook decides to come out with a streaming media, which is
Hulu.
theorized at this point as well.
Oh, okay,
Hulu.
makes sense.
Whoever wants to put it up, I'm there.
Yep.
I just want to make sure the entire world gets to see this, because not only is this going to be and it already has been, highly educational. Let's face it, no one's watching stuff for education.
Right.
This is going to be fun.
At best,
gonna be a lot
people
of
will
fun.
appreciate it, but it's not what's going to tune them in.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Nobody tunes in to the Kardashians to watch how they are losing weight and what they're doing. Their guys are tuning in to see pretty girls.
Mhm.
Girls are tuning in because they want to, for some reason, be like these girls here. and make it very relatable. And that's, putting in the idea of New Jersey to make it relatable for everyone around here and keep the roots. When we go into different cities and different parts of the world, to put those aspects in so it's relatable and really hit home on a lot of things what people are going through their lives, the struggles they're having, the triumphs, tribulations, literally ways to connect with everybody and really pull them in, become a part of this. Because, if we do this and it goes up on YouTube and we get 10 views, it'll be a total waste of time.
Yeah. Not really an option.
No, it's not an option. And so we've been investing a great deal of money,
resources.
We'll call it resources, time, efforts, and eat, sleeping, and breathing this. And, before I decided to just go for it, I asked Shantae, are you going to support me if I do this? If she said no, I would have been shocked. But if she said no, we should do this instead, I would have respected that and went with that. And she said, nope, go for it. I said, okay, so if I bankrupt us right now, are you still behind me? And she said, absolutely, go for it. So a lot of motivation. Athena's rolling her eyes over there. She wants toys. Xander's already told me he wants a Tesla, and they want what we're making now to go into that as opposed to this.
Right.
And, I'm sure you've seen the new Hummer electric car coming out, so that should be fun. But not
goals.
Yeah.
We're allowed to have them.
Foregoing all that to put forth this. So this really is for the world. This is for the people. This is going to be spectacular to amazing lengths that have never really been done before. There's no hidden agenda on this one. I'm not going after Burger King as saying you guys suck. It was just you guys happen to have the best burger, so they should be thankful for that part.
And I do expect some positive things to come from this. So we'll end up seeing how it goes. Like, I've been excited the whole time. Probably a little too much so in some people's eyes, but I've been ready for this.
Calm down, take a cold shower.
I'll take these with me.
This is a marathon here. No, but the heights and proportions to this movie, where it is going to reach, is just phenomenal in every single way. And I'm glad that we found the right people for this. We've got Ryan here, who has been doing an amazing job, and he loves the editing room. So him and I will probably go through some cases of Death Wish coffee along the process. Athena, who has emerged from the depths of 12-year-old world and taken amazing photos for us of us taking film. It's been great. We got podcast studio here, which we'll be coming back to every couple weeks, just for this, not to include any other guests that we have doing the normal course of business. Amazing people to talk with and podcast with and get some amazing information out. And you for the ability to want to abuse your body for no reason whatsoever other than the fact
curiosity,
of science.
Yeah.
I'll do this little Xander. Science. Science. That's reference to Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs cartoon. Yes.
So just another time putting body through it to find out and learn for everyone else. Absolutely. I enjoy it. So, it took me how long to volunteer for this?
Before it came out of my mouth. Can I do it?
Done.
All right.
Perfect.
Cool. Somebody else to hang out with a little longer. And again, so for those that didn't hear before, and I'll put it up, we are going to be putting up daily updates on our Facebook page at Functionized, daily updates on the Instagram. It'll be a lot more in depth on Facebook because it gives us the ability to.
Right. You can do more there.
You'll be, and again, that's at Functionized, FUNCTIONISED. You are going to be doing your daily vlogs, which will be on your personal pages and Functionized as well.
Correct.
So just check out Functionized, and we'll tag you on everything as well. And on the podcast page here on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, anywhere you can.
Anything with a podcast.
Anything with podcasts. As well as functionized.com/keto.html. And that's going to be having very long, in-depth of, you want to know why we're doing something? Here's why we're doing it. You want to see some photos behind the scenes? This is where those behind the scenes photos are. And as we get closer to releasing the trailer, we'll give individuals chances for special sneak peeks of this trailer. And obviously the movie. There's definitely going to be, we're looking for more people to become a part of this. And they will get special little perks and bonuses along the way. And I guess they can have a burger too. As well.
Who could turn that down?
Yes. You have any closing remarks?
Nah, I'm good.
You good?
And yeah, I'll have plenty to say later.
We'll see you tonight,
All
like
freaking
around
month,
9-ish. That's when you did last night, right?
Yeah, somewhere around 8. We'll call it 8 to 9. I plan to.
You got any closing remarks, Athena? No. Ryan, got anything? He's so humble. That's
He's
why
still awake.
I love this guy.
That's what I was proud of.
Got anything, Ming?
Good luck, guys. Good luck. I'll be calling the
For another Functionized podcast, thank you for being with us. We greatly appreciate you. Tag your friends, tag your family, share it with the entire world.
Well, I guess on this one, Dr. Mike, I'm out.
Mad Scientist Jim, I am out.
Thank you.